Welcome, everybody, to our coach call. Today is June 22nd, 2015. I'm Michael McBride, Diamond Beachbody coach and founder of Ripped 411. Today, we are joined by some people from all teams, which is fantastic. I'm just so glad that we can all come together. And today, we're talking about getting new coaches started right. We did little intros beforehand, and we've got several emeralds on our team, or emeralds here, and we have a few coaches, coach ranked, and it's just really, really important to learn how to get new coaches started right, and really identify who are the business builders and the people who are really taking off. So I wanted to share with you all some resources that Beachbody's provided for us, and I'll also share with you some stuff that I do with my team, and I want to hear what you guys are doing as well, and kind of what are the best things to do to get new coaches started right. I think it's also really cool that we have some coaches here who are just a few months old as coaches. For me, that was 5 years ago, so I barely remember it. So I definitely want to hear from coaches who are brand new. How was your onboarding process, and what worked really well? What questions did you have? Did you ever feel overwhelmed? Feel free to jump in and share all about that. So first of all, there are a lot of systems out there, and there's a lot of teams that are doing their own thing, and it's really important for everybody to kind of figure out what works well for them. What I want to do, first of all, is actually just share what I've been doing with my team, and then we can kind of go off from there. I do something I'm going to do a screen share. There we go. There we go. Can you all see that? Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Cool. This is on our team website. It's ripped411.com/ready, which is our first page. So I've got a 3-day coach orientation that I call Ready, Set, Go. And you can literally just go /ready/set or /go to find the 3 pages. And there are links at the bottom of the page that lead you to the next day as well. So when there's a brand new person that comes on as a coach, the first thing that I do is I send them a welcome message. I usually do it through Facebook, since that's how we connect in the first place. And I'll show you the text of that message when we actually get to the 3rd page of our coach training. But I just wanted to kind of give us an overview of the things that I think are really important, especially as a new coach is starting. The very first thing you see is this huge stop sign, which is probably not the thing that you would expect when you're starting a training. But I just want people to really make sure that they are pausing to listen to this amazing call that Josh Spencer put on a few months ago called Broke to 7 Figures, Key Steps to Make It Happen. If you've not listened to this call, do yourself a favor and listen to it, because no matter what level you are at as a coach, if you're just starting out today, if you've been a coach for 6 years, this is such an amazing call that not only gives an incredibly inspiring story of his own, but also 10 amazing tips that I think every single coach should know. So I've got a link to that. And after each step in our training, the new coach, there's a little prompt to actually post in our team page, what they've done already. That way I can track their progress. And that way also people on the rest of the team can see, how their teammates are doing and kind of where they are in the process. So the first step after they've listened to the call is to determine where is their level of interest. Are they a 1, 2, or 3? There are people who start as coaches just to get the discount. They love the products, but they also know about that 25% discount. And if that's where they are, fantastic. I call them preferred customers, and they can just say, I'm a 1, and I support them as they are challengers. And it's just really important to get their physical results. The number two is if they are ready to open a business and start helping others. But those here at number two usually are kind of thinking about they want to pay for their Shakeology, maybe make a few bucks here and there. Maybe they've got some family members that they want to help out. Very much kind of like a hobby. They work as it comes. So that's the number two. And then the number three is these are people who are ready to work their business and really follow through with the steps that it takes to actually build a business, a 6- and 7-figure business. So it's really important as you bring on new coaches to understand what are their goals, what are their needs, and what do they see for themselves. And a lot of people start small. They're not even aware of what are the possibilities. So people can switch between 1, 2, and 3 at any given moment. And hopefully, after they've listened to Josh's Broke to Seven Figures call, they've gotten a little bit of a taste of what's actually possible. Step 2, they start writing their list, 10 to 20 people, in their immediate life that they want to help. And step 3 is we talk about how to connect with those people. And I try to keep it really basic. There's further training where it really goes in depth and has a lot of sample conversations, but I kind of take this from the perspective that people already know how to talk like normal human beings to other people. And so, rather than like lay on a bunch of structures and stuff, I just really want to help people to keep it natural. So I've got a few tips here and there. And then number 4, we talk about inviting. And I put inviting on in the very beginning of this training because I want people to know how easy it is actually and not really build up a lot of baggage and fear about it. So we talk about the 3 main ways that we connect with people as they are, that usually happen. So, Fisher, these are the people who kind of come to you because they see your results. The Trapper, this is when you put out big broadcasts, post out like, hey, I'm doing this challenge. Anyone want to do it with me? And then the Hunter, and that's when you approach people one-on-one and you ask them if they want to join you in a challenge, a fitness challenge. And, that can be free or that can, include a challenge pack. It just really depends on what you want to do. And then after that, I'm like giving away all of our secrets. This is the 5 questions that I've developed that have just been extremely effective. For me, I went from, kind of, I don't know, what was my turnover rate, if I would ask somebody to join a challenge, it was usually around like 10% maybe in the very beginning. And then as soon as I started using this, it jumped up to like 90%. So, these are the 5 questions that I use. And, and I also kind of share how to have that conversation right there. And this is that process. And then at the very end, I've got a video of walking through how to connect someone with a challenge pack using the Coach mobile app, and they can just watch that and follow the steps. And then there's a sample conversation. This is an actual literal conversation that I transcribed so that you can go to that and read through how that went. Go back here. So at the bottom of this page is a link to go to the next page. So this is really day 2. This is ripped411.com/set. And here is all about devising a daily schedule. I have a video about my daily schedule that I've developed that works for me, along with a screenshot of my daily schedule. Super important to have a regular daily schedule that works for you. And I provide this for my coaches to see. Here's an example. And once they've developed their own daily schedule that makes sense within their life, then they can post that in our Facebook group. And then here are the most important things that are happening. When do new challenge groups start? When are the national coach calls? When are our team calls? And then also some annual events like Summit, Super Saturdays, and the Success Club trip. Also, the way that we run our challenge groups, there's like a 7 or 8 day process to help people prepare while they're waiting for their challenge pack to arrive, so they can actually click on this and it leads up to the content that I have for that. So it really helps people to just become aware and empowered. Like, these are the resources that I use, and like I literally just copy and paste them and personalize them, and these are things that you can do as well. And then our final day is rip411.com/go. And this is where it's all about kind of projecting into the future and really, developing habits and patterns that are going to serve you as you develop as a coach. So number one, you have to be doing personal development. And, I recommend Magic of Thinking Big. It was a huge book for me. And then there's a link where they can go to our Facebook coach group, where I've got a list of a bunch of personal development resources that have really impacted me, so they can have some ideas of what to do. Then number two, setting your 1 month goals. I've got some suggestions covering your costs, Success Club 5 or 10, and Emerald rank. And then some really fun videos that I got from Caleb Thomas and Brooke Dorset, all about Emerald, what it is and how to get there. And Brooke's video on signing up your spouse is phenomenal. If you've not seen that, do yourself a favor and watch that. And then I've got information about how to get your team started. And this is the welcome message that I send to new coaches. So we're kind of coming full circle, and we're coming back to, the way coaches are starting in the first place, so that they can duplicate. And then I've got some more advanced topics here as well. These are some topics that might make zero sense to a brand new coach, but I thought it was important to just have these ready to go and really use these as a reference. So, once you become Emerald and you're receiving leads, how do you talk to them? How do you contact them? What's the further business training? And then even information about the various ranks and Diamond. I really want to paint a picture for what is possible. And finally, this last video here is one of the turning points for me, seeing Chris Ballmer pay off his house. When I saw that, I was like, holy crap, the potential here is amazing. And I just wanted to share that with others as well. So once coaches have finished this 3-day orientation, they can maybe take a little longer than 3 days, depends how fast they're moving through it. Then they just make a YouTube video and we post it to our coach page to really introduce them to the team. So that is our process. I'm curious to know, for those of you who are seeing this for the first time, who are not on my team, what do you think of this? I've been using this for my coaches, and some of them are working through it fast, and some of them are wanting to focus on their own fitness. But if you saw this, is this something that would be helpful? And I'm gonna stop screen share. There we go.
Yeah, I personally love it, man. I know I've been on a lot of calls with you, but that's pretty much the first time that I've really I've seen all 3 pages. And I like it a lot, man. It's really structured the right way. I think it's super important bringing coaches in the right way. A lot of coaches bring new coaches in, and it's just like, okay, go at it. You kind of use your back office, and this is how you get there, and good luck kind of thing. So I think that's the most important part of any coach's journey, is the very first, 3 to 5 days is where they really, fall in love with the process and what they need to be doing every day. And that's pretty important to get them off on the right foot. I mean, so good job, Mike.
Awesome. I'll say as a caveat, if somebody is a 1, like if they're just interested in the discount, those are the ones who usually don't make it through the whole coach training, or maybe they don't tell me, so in that case, I just keep in contact with them with their fitness. They're in our groups, and whenever the curiosity strikes, this is there for them. Any other thought? Like, I will preface this. I am not an expert at starting new coaches. I share this actually just because I'm really curious on getting your feedback as well.
Well, for me, I had 2 people that are going to be signing up as coaches under me, but I don't feel like I got the training to know how to coach, to even go through the coaching steps myself, let alone teaching somebody else how to do the coaching. So when I was trying to explain stuff to them the other day, I felt like I just made them more confused because I didn't know what I was talking about. So I didn't have this step-by-step process to really go through. So something like that would be very helpful. It's very overwhelming.
Yeah, I know I felt super overwhelmed when I first started. And, 5 years ago, there was not anything like this. Beachbody didn't have any new coach training. Like, Josh had this 4-week thing where he's emailed me like a 6-page document every week of like checklists of things that I had to do. And I was like super overwhelmed. And I was inactive for 1.5 years. So, I don't know. Did you guys feel overwhelmed when you first started? Yeah, saying yes. Yes, there is hope. Oh, yeah. And I think when you first start, you're feeling overwhelmed. There's just a lot of information, and a lot of times your physical transformation is still in process, and like that's the most present thing that we're thinking about. And then there's this like business thing that's going on also, and I think for a lot of people, it's too much to really think about that. Yes, and Dana's saying RAM system Beachbody site is so large and cluttered. It's getting better. I want to kind of walk through that as well, because they've actually updated it like 3 weeks ago, and it's getting a lot better. Aaron says the RAM system looks really easy and effective to enroll new challengers, something they're struggling with a ton. Say more about that. Can you take yourself off mute, maybe? Is that going to work?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so the biggest thing, Amy and I have been working with some challenge groups where we've been doing like an information group preceding like the 21-day fix. And this last group, we had like 24 people that were interested in the challenge group, but getting so much information from people about just trying to add value and actually get people to commit to a challenge pack has been really, really tough. Overcoming the objections and like, I don't have the money, or maybe I just want to buy the 21-day fix. I don't want the Shakeology. So, I'm sure that's a common thing we all encounter, but trying to add the value, we get a lot of training, like add value, you're not adding enough value. I think maybe some of these questions for new people like me might make it a little bit easier to like maybe pinpoint their needs and ask those 4 or 5 questions. And maybe, like you said, if the conversion rate goes from 10% to, 90%, Amy and I are both sitting on like 2 points this month, and we had 24 people in our group where we thought we'd probably get 6 enrollments. We need a lot more success, turning these people into challengers. And I'm excited to try this system. I think it's going to help, people see the value of these challenge packs. So
yeah, totally. Yeah, value is such a interesting thing, because like you said, we have to be adding value, and to add value to somebody else, you have to know what they value, like what is it they want. You know, like my dog really values dog food, but you know, if somebody tried to give me dog food, I wouldn't think that's very valuable. You know, and I think a lot of times when we're trying to add value to other people, we're trying to add value in the way that we think they need value rather than really understanding what it is they need. And we can only understand what they need by asking questions and by listening to their answers. And that works at every level. Like that works if you're trying to enroll someone in a challenge group, to show them the challenge pack, if they're a brand new coach, if they are, you know, if you feel like your team is kind of silent and they're not responding to you, you know, a lot of that is just because there's a disconnect of value. And, you know, a lot of times if you feel like you are working on the hamster wheel, trying to add value to other people, but it's not coming back, you know, it's just because you're trying to give them dog food and they don't like dog food.
Good point.
And I only say that because my dog is right here sitting behind me. There she is.
I'm sure she loves dog food.
She loves dog food. Oh yeah, she's gotten a little curvy. Debbie asked, what is the RAMP system? Yeah, so RAMP is an acronym that stands for RIP 411 Accelerated Message Program. And I came up with that acronym when I was on a flight back from Summit last year. I used to run challenge groups in the traditional way with a Facebook group and like adding daily posts and, you know, requiring people to check in and all that. It was not going well for me. So I decided to actually take a page. Josh Spencer had done a short experiment with leading groups in a group message thread on Facebook. And I decided to give that a shot. So I moved all of our people who were continuing and then started to invite people into our RAMP, which is this message thread, and been doing that almost a year now. And it has completely revolutionized our team. I love our group. Like, it's just personal and it's fun. And one of the challengers just today, he's new, you know, was just like, I love this group. Like, there's activity going on from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m. You know, people are talking, they're chatting, they're sharing their food, their pictures, their workout check-ins, you know, supporting each other. It's just been a lot, I think, an easier access for people to kind of relate to each other through that message program, you know, the messages rather than a group. So you don't do it on Facebook anymore? Oh, it's still on. It's run through the Facebook messages. Yeah, which you know, if you Facebook has a messenger app now. That, of course, I guess last year was a big firestorm. Everybody thought that Facebook was spying on them, so they were not getting on the messenger. However, if you're on Facebook, Facebook already knows everything about you. So the messenger program is actually nothing. So.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the RAMP groups have been the most beneficial because it like streamlines things and you can go in and out as often as you want to throughout your day, so you can feel connected when you have time and nobody feels strange popping in and out the way the conversation flows.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what I would say to people who aren't in our RAMP group. So just want to add that.
Yeah. And Colleen's in our RAMP, Pete's in our RAMP.
Pete, I'm sorry I missed Mojo. Okay.
Dana's asking, how can we get in? Ooh, it's the party! Woo! No, it's funny because, you know, like I'm a teacher and I'll, you know, teach a 50-minute class and then I'll look at my phone and there'll be like 238 missed messages from this group, just because like people are chatting and just talking. And, you know, one thing I do tell people when they're first starting is, if you don't have time, please do not feel like you have to catch up with the conversation. It can be kind of overwhelming to open your phone and have like 349 messages, or in the chats in the message thread. But there's some pretty good stuff in there. So if you scroll up, you can see them. So, but yeah, that's something that that we've done over the last year, which we like. So actually, when I invite people into our challenge group, what I'm really doing is, like, the product that is most marketable that we have is the ramp. Like, the Beachbody products are great, but they are a tool that we use in the ramp. So I'm really inviting people into our ramp, more than like saying, hey, buy this thing, and then, oh, by the way, I'll support you through it. Adam asks, is the group never ending, or does it have a start and stop? Every 30 days, I have a cycle, so that people who've kind of fallen out and who are not responding anymore, they can graduate. And also, it's a checkpoint. I have everybody fill out a WUFU form that kind of talks about the progress that they've made over the last month and what their goals are for the next month. So that way I actually get like a in writing report about where everybody is. And if there are people who are not coaches yet, that's a great time to reach out to them and congratulate them on their progress and invite them to be part of the coaching team. RAMP is a challenge group on Messenger. Yes, the RAMP is a challenge group on Messenger. Yes, good questions. Have you all seen Beachbody's onboarding process for new coaches? A couple of you. Let me show you this. I'm going to screen share again. So this is for new coaches. And if you go to your news and training, under training, and then you'll see training library, this is like a resource guide of all of the information for training. And a really cool thing that it has is a guide. Let's see, where is it? There's a guide for having a good Getting Started Right program, or Getting Started Right call. Oh shoot, where is it? Well, I downloaded it. I'll move this around. It's like a step-by-step on what to say in your Getting Started Right call. They also have this this welcome letter that has links to some videos to get started. There's a personality test, kind of a questionnaire about them. I find for a lot of the people that are already in our challenge groups, like I know what their family is like, and we've developed a relationship. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's their list on what to cover in a one-on-one Getting Started Right call. So they really kind of assume that once somebody starts to become a coach, they're wanting to build a business. So this is kind of your guide that you can walk through. And this is the updated business quick start that they just updated like 3 weeks ago, where they can find their coach ID. Actually, when somebody signs up as a new coach, now they receive an email from Beachbody with their coach ID, their websites, contact info, how to stay connected. There's links to videos like how to set up your profile and website, to create an action plan, how to identify people, to engage in ongoing training, events. And here's their coach action plan, which I think is actually really cool. They can write down what their why is. They can set their goals and dates of when they want to accomplish these goals. And then they're connecting their goals to their why, scheduling their time, defining their daily activity, identifying potential obstacles and what they're going to do to overcome them. And then there's a link to the business activity tracker to hold themselves accountable. And then they can they can schedule when their first challenge group is going to open and go public. Yeah, I think that's the thing that I wanted to show you. I have not been using this. I mean, it's brand new, but I did not use the last one because it was confusing to me. Like, I literally couldn't get it, which is why I made our own, getting started on our coach webpage. But I like this a lot more. I think it's it's a lot cleaner, a lot more streamlined. Like, it kind of makes more sense. Personally, I have things in a little different order for when I like to start new coaches, just because I really want to get them started as quickly as possible and kind of connected to what's possible for them, and to know how to invite people, even before kind of like setting up their websites and all of that, because they really don't even need that with the Coach mobile app. Like, you don't even need to know your Coach ID with the Coach mobile app, since you log in with your Team Beachbody email. So they can actually like sign up a challenge pack immediately. In fact, I brought someone in a couple days ago, and then I checked in yesterday, and like, she had accidentally signed up a coach on her team. Like, she didn't really understand what she was doing, but she like went through this process and she signed up a coach. So yeah, so I just wanted to let everybody know what this is, and if that's something that makes sense for you, feel free to check that out. Actually, we can have a little conversation now. Like, what do you think of this? Does this make sense to you? Does it seem overwhelming? Does it seem really nice? What do you think? Dana says, I want yours.
I think this one looks a lot better than their last one. Definitely what you said. The last one was horrible. I thought I've never used it one time either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it looks better than the old one, but I still like yours is more clear. They just need to hire you, Michael.
Yeah, below right there where the boxes are jumping with the arrows. I mean, that I could see that totally confusing somebody. Like, not. I mean, it's clear. It's clear cut with an arrow, but I don't think they're understanding the overwhelmingness of day one for a new coach when they really want to build the business. They are just trying to soak in everything, and to be bombarded and see all these boxes and all this stuff. I don't know, man. I just think it has to be super simple the way yours is. I mean, that's the only way to really break through to somebody, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who, they've latched onto it so tightly that, no matter how bad a training is, like, they're going to last. And then there are people who, are kind of on the edge. Like, if they don't receive a lot of support and it's not super simple, then, we get distracted. I mean, that's just kind of the reality of all of our lives.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is better than their last one. I had, when I signed up as a coach, I had the last one, I think it was, or maybe the one before that, I don't know. But I was like, wow, I didn't even attempt it. Josh gave me one of his that he made, and it was better than the Beachbody one.
Okay.
I'm sure you got the TNL packet also, Michael, or was that was way after you started doing?
It was like prototype. I mean,
yeah.
It was a Word document.
Yeah.
It was like 84 pages long.
Oh, Jesus.
Debbie asks, is there any way to get onto your page to get to your training? Yeah, it's an open page. Just go to rip411.com/ready, and then that'll lead you to the first page. And there are links to the second and third page. So, yeah, I think the more we can get into the mind and like walk in the shoes of a brand new coach, the better the experience is going to be for everybody. And I think we can never underestimate how overwhelming it is. So, I'm curious to know if anybody else has their own process for onboarding, or what are some of the biggest questions that you had as you were being onboarded? Dana says the last training, someone mentioned the friends list on Facebook. Oh, like identifying, putting your Facebook friends on a list. Yeah, that's like revolutionary. Yeah, if you've not seen that, check out our archives. Yeah. Aaron, how about for you? You're Emerald. How did you onboard your new coaches?
Yeah, basically, I mean, I'm working through it myself, to be honest. It's just been the last few months. So Amy's one of them. So we're kind of working together. One of my other coaches is not a real big business builder, so I haven't had to work with him a whole lot, but I did just sign up a couple more. My sister's one of them, and she's real serious about starting this as a business. She just got married, wants to quit her job, wants to do this full time, jump right in. So I've got some ideas for her, and I'm honestly looking for something like this. So this comes at a great time for me because a lot of the training that I got from Josh, he's got the Team Next Level page, and it's like the 30-day training. Yeah. We went through that. It's very comprehensive. I think it's great. But like you said, just as a quick start, I like this just to get people just kind of the down and dirty. Here's what you get. Let's start with this. It's not too overwhelming. And then start seeing some results from there, and then maybe dig deeper into the 30-day training while you're using this. So I'm glad you provided this. I appreciate it. So I'm definitely going to use this if you don't mind, for sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree. I think the 30-day training is it's phenomenal. I mean, it is like,
right.
You go from 0 to 60 as a coach, it's got everything in there. And he has just put it together in such an amazing job. It's not something that a brand new coach who has, kind of like a moderate interest in building a business is going to, often be able to get through. So I think you're right. Like people who are just starting out need to see what's this all about. And, once they get that first check, once they get their first commission, or they bring in their first, friend to join them in a challenge group or a ramp, that's when it becomes real. And it's not like a video game anymore. Trying to take it off a screen share, but it's not letting me.
Can I say one more thing, Mike?
Go ahead.
Just one other comment. And I don't know if anybody else goes through this, but I know Amy and I kind of went through paralysis by analysis in the beginning, because there is so much information out there. Like you said, a lot of the training is really, really good, but we can find ourselves getting lost looking up training. At least I did. I'm I'd get on YouTube. Like I might have my 2 hours a night where I can actually spend inviting people or doing the business, but you get caught up in YouTube videos from top coaches, and you start to, get into all this advanced stuff. And before you know it, your night's over with, and that's all you've done. So, another good reason why this is good, like I said, it's kind of pinpointed, it's focused. It's like, step 1, 2, 3, let's start with this. Like you said, start to see some success. And then as you're doing it, maybe you're personal development every day, you can kind of start growing with some more training, but this just keeps it cookie cutter and easy.
Yeah, I know I've fallen into that paralysis by analysis a lot. And, I think, well, it's safe, you never have to really talk to somebody if you're just watching YouTube videos all the time. So yeah, that's a huge thing. And that was one of the big drawbacks of a lot of the training that I saw. I see Debbie was mentioning the 60-day training videos from Caleb Thomas. I've not looked at Caleb Thomas's all of his videos. I include some of them in my training just because they rock. He's hysterical, and he knows his stuff, and he's awesome. But I haven't seen the whole training. But I think every good training has to really create an environment where somebody is ready to get into action. It's really only in action and talking to people that you're really going to learn, what to do. And, there's that kind of that great quote, there can be no answers without questions. And I think a lot of times we're like trying to stuff answers down people's throats, and they don't even have the questions to begin with. So, it's only whenever you're talking to people, you're making your list, that's when somebody's going to say like, oh, what should I say next? And that's when they have the question. And that's where training like this, I think, really comes to play. Cool. Anything else, guys? Debbie, have you seen Caleb's training? Some of the videos? Yeah, good stuff. Well, cool. I was trying to take it out of screen share. I don't know, but my computer's not letting me, so that's why you're not seeing me. Oh, well. Well, I think that'll be good.
I can see you on the bottom of my screen, Michael. I don't know why, but I'm on my phone for my Zoom call.
Yeah, I know.
You're in the corner down the bottom, so I can see you. Yeah, bottom right.
Yeah, I think you can like scroll through the people.
But I don't see everybody else because I'm on the phone.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's not going to let me take it out of screen share. Oh, well. Cool. Well, unless there's anything else, I just want to thank you for being here and frankly, being a soundboard. You're like my therapist, so I appreciate that. I hope this is something that helps you guys and helps your team. I figure that, the clearer we can make it for all of us, that's just going to create an environment that is going to be mutually encouraging and help everybody out. So, if as you're working through, if you do want to look at my site, as you're working through that, if you have questions or if you're like, this doesn't make sense, or what about this, feel free to contact me, and I'd love to, to go back and forth and just kind of work out all the rough edges. So anyway, that would be great. Well, I will close this out. Thanks so much for joining. This has been awesome. And if anybody has thoughts about what they'd like to talk about for next week's coach call, you can feel free to send that along as well. We kind of do this a week at a time based on like what's the most important thing that everybody's wondering about. So feel free to share that. Yes, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Have a great night. Mwah. Won't let me turn it off. It's like frozen.
It's even possessed.
I can't stop recording. I can't turn it off.
Yeah, it's funny. You got it on screen share, and I can't even see my computer. It's got it in full screen mode, and I can't even see like
You can't get
my stuff. Oh, wait, there it goes.
Oh.
Wait, how did I do that?
Nope.
Wow.
And I'm pressing escape and nothing.
Peter, you're the tech guy. Come on.
What do I do?
Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete.
You've got a Mac.
I don't want to.
Go to your Apple. Well, if you do a force quit, I don't know if it will stop your recording or not, or crash it.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
That's weird that you can't exit the screen mode.
Yeah, that's very weird. Like I said, it's got my screen. Your screen is in full screen on mine, and I can't see the bottom of my computer or anything.
I got a full screen. You can get out of that.
How do I? Oh, right there it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
I pressed escape and it worked. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pressing escape and it's not working. This is probably the most entertaining part of the call.
Yeah. You have like
Hit
multiple
settings,
screens.
Michael.
Say it again.
Hit the recording settings. What does that do?
That?
Oh no, that's not it.
Like the toolbar at the bottom, you can't stop the record that way.
It's not even showing. Let's see if there's anything in my menu.
Go into general settings and there's one that says content sharing. See if you can unclick a checkbox or something.
Jeez. Screen. Jeez, I want to force quit. I'm gonna lose it all. Maybe if I try to quit the program, that will come.
Michael, go into where it says participants, and right by your name, it's showing the record symbol. See if there's a way you can turn it off there.
It's not even showing me that. Where do you see participants?
On the very bottom, where it says share screen.
Yeah,
Mine
auto hides, so.
Yeah, because I'm sharing my second screen. It's not even. Oh, what if I unplug my other monitor? Because I'm sharing my second screen now.
Yeah, I shared my second screen or first screen, and I was able to kill it. Actually, I shared my first screen, but my second screen's my primary, so I was able to kill it off my primary.
Did not help. Usually if I hover at the top, then the options come down to stop the recording. Oh. Let's see, settings, nope. Guys, this is awful.
Save the chat.
Yeah, this is random, man. Jeez. I don't know. It's hard for me and Pete because you're the host, so you see different settings.
Yeah, it's like all hidden. What if I log out? Did I just screw it all up? Log back in.
Yeah. What if you try to leave the group? Since you're recording, it might ask you to stop recording before you leave.
Yeah, I just logged out of Zoom, and it just let me log out.
You're still here. That's funny.
Yeah.
What the? You tried leaving this group, leaving this conversation?
Yeah.
Wow. Something's frozen, man.
Huh.
Because that should tell you you're still recording, you're the host. What do you want to do?
Exactly. I'm going to try logging back in.
Huh.
Okay, log back in.
Hmm.
All right.
Wow.
I'm gonna quit quitting. Pull the plug.
Yeah, just quit it. Quit the whole thing.